Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of The Truth Is Here. You are watching the Mahdi Has Appeared TV. There is a number on your screen. Make use of it. Let's hear from you. And all you on social media, do keep it clean and respectful. And again, let's hear from you. I'm joined today by my epic brother, Waqar.
Thank you, my honourable brother.
I love you, bro, and I really enjoy this.
Yeah, I love
time
our conversations. Together,
God bless you, bro. Alhamdulillah. So our last couple of episodes have been about obviously pretty serious issues that the world currently faces.
Yeah, absolutely.
The first being homelessness, which will tie in a little bit with our topic today.
Yeah, they're all connected.
Of course they are. Of course they are. And the more recent episode, the one we did yesterday, was about hunger and starvation. And the shocking fact that 25,000 people die every single day of hunger.
Yeah.
So today we are focused on the topic of immigration. The refugee crisis that the world is witnessing and has been witnessing for a little while now.
Yeah, it's been it's got intense in the last decade.
I'd agree with that. I'd say it's intensified a lot in the last decade. And we see various reasons for it. We will be presenting some statistics to show what we're talking about. But, right, now, obviously the world essentially revolves around politics, and we've seen, we've definitely witnessed this, immigration becoming a major issue that is addressed in political campaigns.
Yes.
Now, what's crazy is that all kinds of political parties around the world make this a central focus of their campaign, and in a lot of cases have been, they've basically won elections on those premises, as in on that particular issue.
Yeah, they use the immigration crisis as the trump card.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're talking mostly right-wing political parties. We've seen it across Europe taking power by making immigration a major part of their campaign.
Yeah.
Right. So the question I have is, have any of them presented a solution? And obviously the answer is not really. They just talk about reducing immigration, but they don't actually have a tangible sort of solution that would close the issue altogether. You know, all they do is they say they'll increase policing, they'll increase tighter sort of requirements for entry into the country and so on, whatever country we're talking about. And they fool the population into thinking that they will take action over this issue. And what's sad, right, is that we see the population swallowing up, voting for them, and accepting, this obviously comes through conditioning, which obviously comes from years of rhetoric surrounding this topic. We see the population accepting the idea that this is a major issue which is affecting their economy, affecting their livelihoods, affecting all parts of their societal kind of operation. And it's usually this immigration issue which is blamed for all the problems in society.
Yeah, but if you look at this, the refugee matter, it's not just a matter of a person, an individual, or a family, or a group of people just moving from their own native country to another country. Yeah. Now we have to ask the question: why are these people doing this in the first place?
For sure,
because even though Europe is facing a refugee crisis, I mean, there's a massive influx and has been since 2015. I mean, when 2 million people crossed over into Germany then. And the thing is, there's a bit of a cause and effect.
Of course.
I mean, something is happening in their own countries.
Whichever countries those may be.
Whichever they may be. And that's making and compelling these people to make this very dangerous journey.
Yeah, they literally uproot and leave. Right?
Yeah, and many people don't actually make it.
Of course, yeah.
I mean,
like,
it's such a dangerous trek that I mean, with especially if you have little children,
of course,
and a family.
Well, like we do see all kinds of, you know, people taking this dangerous trek, as you put it.
Yeah.
And it is like, okay, there's so many different routes that they take, and most are illegal.
Yeah, they're illegal, and they also get they're exploited as well by
massively
by gangs that are handling all this. But thing is, the last thing that's in those people's minds is their safety.
Yeah, well, this is the point. Like, it's the idea of reaching a promised land.
Yeah.
Right, a land where everything becomes hunky-dory,
yeah.
Right? But in reality, what we see happening is, as you put it, a lot of people lose their lives on the way.
Yeah.
A lot of people are sort of, in one way or another, disfigured, whether it's physically or mentally.
Yeah.
And a lot of people end up in actual detention. This is the scary part. Right, and it is treated as a criminal kind of, like it is treated as a criminal action. You've illegally come into the country. Yes. Illegally, meaning obviously you've broken the law.
Yeah.
Right? So, due to the nature, obviously, of its legal status, you see this criminal element taking sort of advantage of the situation.
Yeah.
And as you put it, gangs and all kinds of organizations exploiting these desperate people.
Yeah, exploiting the people, exploiting the women, exploiting the children.
Literally.
But we have to look at if you look at most of the refugees that are coming in from they're mainly from the Middle East and those countries that have ongoing conflicts within.
Of course, yeah, that's
you have
a major part of it.
You have like you have Afghanistan, you got Syria, you got you got Palestine.
Ukraine.
You have Ukraine, which is quite a recent one, but
and in Europe as well.
Yeah. So this is one of the reasons. But the thing is, isn't it? Being a refugee is not something that's very unnatural if you go back into history. It's a process that happens due to many reasons. The main reasons it's happening now is due to the wars and conflicts, oppression, collapse of economies in those countries. There's barely any food and clean water.
I was going to say there's mainly two issues that drive migration, right? One, insecurity, right? In fact, both are insecurity, really. One is insecurity due to a collapse of government due to war or something,
conflict,
right?
Yeah.
And the other one is economic kind of migration, meaning like people leave their poor country to go to a wealthier country, because even if they make money from a sort of low-paying job, it's much more than they would earn in their own country, right? Per hour, per month, etc.
Yeah.
So, and like this is a shocking statistic which will be kind of explained as we bring these up. India, which is not a war-torn country.
No.
But India is the biggest source of emigration, meaning like there's a lot of people, like a very large segment of the immigrants in the world come from India.
Yeah. I mean, it's mainly due to like extreme economic hardship and inequality. Because in India, you will see that there's like a caste system.
Of course.
And what I mean by
the
inequality,
best jobs are saved for the people of a particular caste. Basically.
Absolutely. And what I actually mean by inequality is that if you're stuck in a certain class, if you're in a working class or a lower class, and the thing is, there is no chance in that society, that you can come up, into the next class.
Of
you understand?
Of course.
Meaning the doors of opportunities are absolutely shut for you.
Yeah.
So you are forced. You are forced to leave that country and try to make a journey to another country where you can actually improve your economic situation.
For sure, and this is the issue. Like this is like like we're saying, this is a major driving force for people to leave their countries. And it's not just India. Obviously there are many countries in the world which are seen as low in opportunity in terms of obviously monthly income. So we see people from those countries just literally picking up and moving to somewhere where there's better opportunity. So let's go to our first slide just to illustrate this. So the UN Refugee Agency, right? UNHCR. Obviously, we've referred to this website for statistics in order to obviously illustrate what we're talking about. If we can bring up our next one, this here is like a shocking number, bro. Wow. So there are 122.6, that's 122.5 million people forcibly displaced, whether it's through persecution, conflict, violence, human rights violations, or events that seriously are disturbing to public order. Of them, 68.3 million are internally displaced, and of them, as of that 122 million, 37, almost 38 million are refugees. Wow. Right? So this is as of the end of 2023, and obviously, like, conflicts haven't stopped. So as conflicts carry on, these numbers will only increase.
I mean, you have conflicts and you have like very oppressive regimes. Dictatorships. Religious persecution. Which is a massive thing.
Of course, there's obviously this sectarianism in different parts of the world. I was going to say, let's bring up our next slide. So here, 8 million asylum seekers and 5.8 million people are other people in need of international protection, right? And I think that's the last of the yellow ones. So the point here is that we're talking millions of people. You know, it's a significant number. Like, these are numbers that are bigger than most cities in terms of populations, right?
I mean, it's a cause for concern.
Well, sure. if you're not sort of touched by this, like, this kind of number, then, as in, like, if you're not affected emotionally by this number in one way or another, then there's something not right with you. You know, because, like, these are people who basically have no alternative. These are people who basically are in desperate situations, and it's not one or two people, it's millions of people. You know what I mean?
I mean, the lucky ones, they managed to get a refugee status in some of these countries, but it's always the ones that don't, and they have to live in camps, literally stateless. You know what I mean? And when you're stateless, you know that you don't have much rights.
Of course. I mean, the next slide actually shows, let's bring that up. Okay, so 65% of the people which we're talking about in terms of refugees come from 4 countries. The top 3 of those countries are Syria, Venezuela, and Ukraine. And each of them has over 6 million people who've left those countries. And the countries that host them, the top 3 that we've got, are the Islamic Republic of Iran, which kind of surprised me, Turkey, and Colombia. Right.
I mean, the Syrian Arab Republic, and that was created. The crisis was created there due to the rise of ISIS,
of course,
the terrorist group at that time,
and, like, obviously this internal conflict between the government and these rebel groups. You know, whichever they are.
And the Venezuelan one, that was due to economic collapse. And the Ukraine one was due to the conflict, another war. So you can see that these three countries, they fit in perfectly to what is driving the crisis.
Of course,
which is war, economic collapse, and sectarian violence.
Of course, of course. So let's come back from them. We, like, the next slide we'll be going to, right, will show where most of these people, these 122 million displaced people, are centered. And we're talking about various countries in the world, which initially, like, kind of shocked me, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, there's a lot of countries in the world that take in migrants for one reason or another.
Yeah.
And obviously there's politics at play here.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
So there's something that we learned from, you know, the world wars, right? So people leave a country for security to another country, which is more secure, right? They settle there, they make lives for themselves, and they become a part of that, you know, country's economy.
Yeah.
Meaning they become tax-paying citizens with their future generations, obviously.
Plus they have a right to vote eventually.
Right.
Yeah.
They have a part to play in that society.
Yeah.
They become full-fledged citizens of these countries.
Yes.
Okay. So long-term, the point I'm making is these governments benefit from these migrants.
Yeah, they do. Of course you would. The more manpower you have in your country and the more people you have of tax-paying age, the more benefit to the economy there is.
Yeah.
I mean, but they don't want to show you, they don't want to show their people, the public.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to mention this. And,
of course not.
They always focus on the negative side to get the vote because they look at how the mentality, because politics is a way of steering the way the population thinks.
Of course, and this is the point. This is exactly the point I'm making. Like, as we said earlier, recently we've seen a massive turn to the right wing in various parts of the world due to the issue of immigration. Right? Many European governments have switched from liberal to right-wing governments on that basis, right? And this is the point. Like, it's not, you know, it's not settling. What's happening is the powers, right, that these right-wing political parties are, you know, sort of applying for themselves, as in like giving themselves, they're becoming more and more sort of, what's the word? Restrictive on movement, right? As in like cross-border movement is becoming more and more restricted.
Yes, it is, yes.
And that obviously is an infringement on freedom.
Yes.
Right? Whether it's people who are local, who want to just go traveling, or it's people who literally want to switch from, like, okay, so let's say there's someone living in Poland and they want to go live in Germany. It's a lot more difficult today than it was 25 years ago. Right? Or someone living in, let's say, France wanting to move to, again, let's say Germany. Again, the same story. It's a lot more difficult today than it was 20 years ago. Right? So that restriction of movement is a, like, literally, there's no other word for it. It's an infringement on freedom. Freedom of, obviously, choice, freedom of, like, movement, freedom of, you know, like, the basically that a person is entitled to.
It's an infringement on one of your human rights. That's what it is.
Exactly.
I mean, the right to freely live wherever you want on God's earth.
Right. And this is the point. It is God's earth, isn't it? Therefore, you have the right to walk it wherever you know, wherever and however you like. But anyway, let's bring up the next slide. Let's show, like, which countries are. Oh, actually, this is an interesting one. This is a sort of summary, again, of the sort of unmentioned statistics, right? So 47 million out of this 122 million are children, right? 2 million of them, right, are born as refugees, as in, like, since they first breathed life, they were officially refugees, which is insane.
It is.
And 500,000 refugees were returned or resettled, meaning like they were like forced to live somewhere which isn't what they wanted themselves.
Yeah, they return to their countries of origin. That's what
mostly.
It says. Yeah.
71% are hosted in low and middle income countries, right? Meaning like the majority of these refugees are put in countries that are struggling to sort of
handle their own population, never mind an influx of new people.
Yeah. Which is again like a scary thing to think about. 71%, bro.
But by looking at these statistics and looking at what's been said, we can,
it's
say,
a dark picture, man.
Yeah, we can say for sure that this is actually a crisis that's ongoing.
Yeah.
And there absolutely is not a solution that has been presented from any of the governments of the countries.
Of course, yeah. Okay, let's do that. We have a caller. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Can you hear us, Caesar?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
yeah,
go
we
ahead.
can hear you, brother.
How you doing?
Well, there's one of the commenters, his name is Sire something, I can't say his name. You should give us proof then.
Say that again.
One of the commenters here is asking for proof that the Mahdi is real. He said, give us proof then. What I'm telling him is, go watch the Mahdi's videos.
Okay.
The Mahdi proves it, that he is real, and he's it. I came into the group, and I came here as I didn't know that he was here. I didn't know. I watched his videos and he proves it all in his word. He proves it all in everything. I came here as not believing.
Subhanallah.
MashaAllah, I believe the Mahdi has my promise and I can't wait to meet him.
Oh,
Inshallah.
You will, inshallah, my brother.
Well,
in every way, what I can say is, and God willing, I hope he meets me and I hope I get to meet him one day, and I put my hand and I lay my vow onto this that I will live and I will die by this. The Mahdi is real. He's
God bless your faith, my brother.
And he's here to bring a message that is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and every messenger and the prophet, that is the word of Allah and everything. And if you don't believe that, I came from ask. There's another guy that came in, that came in here. His name is Nasa I can't come to him. Nasa al Mahdi. He spoke to me on something, and then there was another guy that was on this video that told me to go watch the videos, find your truth. I found my truth. I found my way, and I'm finding my way until the day that I meet my Al-Mahdi that came upon me, and I stand upon it, on what he says is true and what is written, and he doesn't speak false. He speak on what is written.
Yes.
So nobody.
Brother Caesar, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so firstly, how old are you?
I'm 27.
MashaAllah. And how long have you been searching for the truth?
About a year. 1 year.
Right.
That I've been searching. Not too long. 1 year.
That's amazing. And when did you find A-Sadiq, from whom his peace is? And when did you get switched on to the Mahdi Has Appeared YouTube channel?
I've been starting to read, and then I've been starting to have this mad dreams, like this weird dreams.
Subhanallah.
And then, like weird dreams, like mad about like hell and stuff like that, about 5 years. And then there was this guy, his name is Nasser.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
He's one of our recent converts as well, brother.
Great guy.
Yeah, bro, big time.
Great guy. I love him.
Alhamdulillah, brother.
The Al-Mahdi is real, and whoever says it's not real, please watch a video of him. The Al-Mahdi is real, and nobody can say that. And whoever says it's not it, maaf for saying this, my brothers, but whoever says that the Mahdi is not true, and that is the same thing that what he said is that everybody said that the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that he is the Prophet, and everybody said he is not. He said he was, and that is what Al-Mahdi is saying now.
God bless you, Brother Caesar.
Yeah,
I don't know how to put it into words, but
well, your testimony is heard by the heavens right now. The angels are praising you, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is right above you, and He's empowering you to see the truth. He's basically Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides those who are sincere and gives them what they are looking for, so in your case, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided you to the truth because you wanted the truth, and here you are giving testimony of your truth about the truth. So God bless you, brother, and may Allah increase you in faith, and inshallah we will hear from you again. We will inshallah meet you in person one day soon,
inshallah.
We
love you, brother. God bless you, and keep spreading the word, brother.
That's spreading the word, actually, and that's the thing. And there's another person that has been saying, show me proof. But how can I show proof if the proof is there? The Mahdi,
you know what the best answer I can give? I can give an answer that you can use to people who ask you for proof. Say to them, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ask Allah, ask God. God does not misguide his sincere believers, his sincere servants. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala testifies to this da'wah, testifies to this call, testifies to the Mahdi, who he gave power to. So, use that, brother.
The Mahdi, the matter of the Mahdi, peace be upon him, is a very clear matter, isn't it?
Yeah.
For the people that are saying, show us the Mahdi, show us the Mahdi, the thing is, if you say, it's like someone who's closed their eyes and they're saying, show me the sun, show me the sun.
Yeah, for sure.
They have to open their eyes. Just like you, my brother, who wanted the truth and searched for the truth. And guess what? Because of your sincerity, you got the truth.
Yeah. Brother Caesar, I really must thank you, but there is somebody here on again the social media right now, a person called Omar, who's very active in the comments. I'd like for Omar to actually step up and come onto the call and speak to us, because he's asking some pretty challenging questions, and I'd like for him to voice those so that the people can hear, and so that we can give him answers which inshallah will give him guidance. But Brother Caesar, again, thank you, God bless you. Do keep investigating, do keep spreading the word, and inshallah we will hear from you soon.
May I say?
Go ahead.
My real name is actually Riyadh.
Subhanallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always be pleased with you, brother.
Caesar is a name that I gave to myself.
Understood. It's just a username. Tamam.
Yeah, it's a username. But I would suggest that every commenter or every person that is doubting or has doubt inside of their minds, and I know my accent sounds different to most people, because we're all from different countries. I would suggest that they look at, because there's always going to be criticism and hatred, or Zionist or whatever. Look at what's happening to Palestine.
Yes.
Well, these are issues obviously which will always be there, and it's just a matter of the people waking up to their realities, and obviously, recognizing their situation for what it is. The sad thing about the truth is it's very bitter. It's very, very difficult to accept.
Yeah, it's very disturbing.
So it is one of those things.
Are we allowed to meet the Mahdi?
Brother, you right now have a duty, and that duty is for you. Number one, you have to make contact with the people who are in charge of your country. Okay, so your first step, if you've not already taken this step, your first step is to contact the outreach, department of this da'wah. There is an email address which you'll find on the website. So please make contact that way, and you will be given guidance, you will be given instructions on what is necessary for you to accomplish your dream, my brother. And I couldn't recommend it strongly enough, because now is the time, brother. Now is the time for you to drop everything and come. Like you're the only one holding yourself back right now. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
God bless you, brother Riyadh. Love you, brother. And inshallah, we will see you soon. Khair. Okay, so again, I'm going to repeat it before we carry on with our topic. If you're there, brother Umar, I would like for you to step up and let's hear from you. Let's have a fruitful conversation, inshallah, about the Mahdi, what your understanding is, and what we're offering you in terms of truth. Okay, so going back to the topic of refugees, let's bring up the next slide, which, again, here we go. This is the beginning of the craziness, brother. The United States of America has taken in 50 million immigrants. Next is Germany with 15.8, almost 16 million immigrants. Saudi Arabia, surprisingly, 13.5. That's like 38% of their population. Like, that shocked me. Russia, 11.6 million.
Yeah, but most of that immigrants are workers. That's the thing. They're not refugees.
They're exploited.
They're exploited. Right?
And obviously there are different standards of living in each of these countries. So again, Russia, 11.6 million. The United Kingdom, 9.4 million, which is, again, almost 14% of their population. Next, let's go to, it's the United Arab Emirates. And that, I believe, was 8.7 million. 88.13 of their population. 88%, bro. That's a crazy number. Right? And again, most of those will be exploited immigrants, right? They're not given anywhere near the human rights that their local citizens are. Some of the
stories that come out from the UAE and Saudi Arabia,
Gulf,
they're horrifying. These refugees were much better off, much safer in their own countries.
Literally. France, 8.5 million, Canada, 8 million, Australia, 7.7 million, and that's 30% of that country's population. Spain, 6.8 million, Italy, 6.4 million. Next, we've got Turkey, 6.1 million, Ukraine, surprisingly, 5 million, right? India, 4.9 million, and that's 0.35% of its population. So it's literally nothing.
No, it's non-existent.
You know what I mean?
If you go by those statistics, yes.
Kazakhstan, 3.7, Thailand, 3.6. You get the idea from these statistics. Like Kuwait, 3.1 million. Above that, we've got Jordan, 3.5 million, which is 33.89%, almost 34% of their population. Kuwait, with the 3.1 million, is almost 73% of their population. Now, Hong Kong isn't a country anymore. It's it's a principality within China, right?
Within China, yes.
And it's taken in 3 million. We can jump down to, we've got South Africa, 2.9 million immigrants, Iran, 2.8 million immigrants, Japan, 2.8 million immigrants, Ivory Coast, 2.6, Singapore, 2.5 million, and that's 43% of their population, which is, again, shocking. And this is the final, shocker, right? On another website, the World Economic Forum, right, it's saying 272 million international migrants, 3.3 3.5% of the world's population. And while most people leave their home countries for work, millions have been driven away due to conflict, violence, and climate change. That was a shocker. Most immigrants come from India. The United States is the primary destination.
Yeah.
That's shocking. I mean, that actually is shocking.
I mean, climate change as well. That is something that's actually happening, and it's happened in past history as well, when civilizations have like been uprooted from one area, and they like somehow
the hardships,
because of sudden climate change, affects the food resources, and I mean, it's one of the reasons that
in our lifetime we've seen drought hit, like Africa, for example, right? And what that did, obviously, was it made food very scarce. So the impact from that will have been for those who have the ability to leave their country of origin to find sustenance in other countries which are unaffected by the same conditions. And this is the thing, like, obviously, when that's
where the borders become a problem.
And that's the shocker, bro.
That's the shocker.
When we go back in history, when there wasn't the strict border control which we see today, people moved freely according to their needs. Right? And it's like the scripture is full of it. Like, as in full of stories of those who were refugees from different parts, settling in different, like parts which are different from where they originate.
Yes. Even the prophets, they were refugees.
Well, we'll inshallah, tomorrow we'll be going into that.
Alhamdulillah, that would be very interesting to talk about.
This is the point. So today's episode is about the refugee crisis, and the only man in the world, the only man in the world today who stood up and risked his reputation, his sort of following, risked everything, and actually said, look, all the people of the world, you're complaining about a refugee crisis, but there is a solution.
He gave a very revolutionary solution.
A solution which I've never heard before. A solution which makes total sense. And here's the thing, he's actually taken action about it.
I mean, it's been proposed, but no, it's never ever gets followed through. Have you noticed the governments, they make the promises? They make promises, but when they get into power, and the promises they make, they don't usually fulfill those promises.
Of course not. This is the point. So A-Sadiq, from him is peace, the Mahdi, stood up, made an episode from the School of Divine Mysteries entitled, like, if we can bring up the slide, the refugee land slide. In this episode, he presents a solution which all of you in the world who are interested in this subject can actually see yourselves. And he didn't only do that, he didn't only present a solution, but more importantly, he took action over it. And he created a petition to support the establishment of this proposal. Right? So if we can bring that up, guys. Okay, the episode has the thumbnail Refugee Land, and it's available on the School of Divine Mysteries. It was released in February, and very, very shortly afterwards, and the numbers you see on screen right now are not reflective of obviously the numbers that have been achieved so far, but you all can support this proposal by going to change.org and looking for this petition, which is entitled Refugee Land, establishing a country for refugees worldwide. And it is literally, it's a solution which has never been thought before by any of the world governments, but it would fix their issue with this immigration which they keep manipulating their populations over. So please do go there, have a read, have a sort of like just take the time to watch this episode and make your mind up. If you want to support the establishment of this proposal, then please do jump onto change.org and get your signature on there, sign this petition, and let's get it implemented. Let's get movement on this.
Let's help these people. I mean, look,
literally.
I mean, instead of these poor people being scattered in foreign lands where they're not actually welcomed, they would have a sense of honor and dignity in a state or a place of their own.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They would no longer be destitute. They would have their own sort of livelihoods. They would have their own welfare. They would have their own education system. They would be an independent state, which obviously has never happened before. There's never been a sort of country that's been agreed upon by world governments to house refugees. The last time we saw anything close to this was when we had the establishment of the State of Israel, right, in 1948.
Yeah, meaning in a lifetime it is possible to get a piece of land and actually build it into a country where a population can live in it very safely and very soundly.
Yeah, and this is the thing, like, we are talking about a piece of land which basically is currently ignored, like, as in not made use of. There are plenty of...
There's plenty of places.
Yeah, exactly. This is the point. Like, if the countries of the world all got together and agreed on a piece of land, just as is suggested in this wonderful episode. I wish we can bring up the actual slide for the... Okay, just everybody out there, go on to the School of Divine Mysteries on the Mahdi Has Appeared YouTube channel and search out the episode for Refugee Land, and in there you'll be able to see this proposed solution, which, like, I don't think anyone with a logical mind would see a problem with. Particularly when, so many countries and so many world populations are complaining of the issue of immigrants coming into our countries and stealing our jobs and doing this and doing that and affecting our livelihoods, affecting our economic stability, and so on. Okay, well, if all your governments got together, if you all forced your governments by signing this petition to get together and discuss this issue, and all those governments came together and agreed upon a piece of land without any conflict arising over it, if they agreed on a piece of land somewhere in the world where they would happily house refugees and allow them to police themselves through, a guide and leadership, then problem solved.
Yeah, it's solved.
Literally.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because you don't want them on your doorstep. If you don't want them on your doorstep and you don't want to let them in, then at least have the dignity to at least support something that will actually give shelter and a home to these people that are being displaced.
For sure. And this is the point. Like, what better act of compassion than that? Anyway, I'm afraid we have run out of time. It is necessary for us to give a context to this refugee issue.
It's a very important subject, and I think you did the right thing of bringing this to the attention of the audience. And we'll talk about the solution, inshallah, in more depth tomorrow.
Inshallah. All you out there, I want to thank you all for joining us today. Brother Waqar, thank you for joining me tonight.
Brother. Thank you, Brother Sermad.
Yeah, inshallah, we will continue this subject tomorrow. Do investigate the Mahdi Has Appeared the Mahdi Has Appeared YouTube channel, and download the Goal of the Wise for your own information. And inshallah, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. God bless. See you soon.